and we are going to jump into Worldbook Kids. Worldbook Kids is our database ideal for that elementary school level reader. Of course, there is some flexibility here. You may have an advanced reader. They're more than welcome to benefit from the tools and features here. On the other hand, you might have a reader who is struggling, who's a little bit older, maybe in 5th grade or 4th grade. They could definitely benefit from the lower lexile of text here. Our database opens up on this beautiful carousel of splash images, really meant to spark curiosity and inquiry. So if I wanted to learn more about icebergs, for example, I love that beautiful picture. I could click right here in the middle on icebergs. We have this great features bar, nice and colorful for that young student or young researcher. And up at the top, we have our search and explore bar. This is 2 tools in one. So the Explorer on the right is a virtual dig, similar to the dig that we did in Early World of Learning, that you have a child who says, I don't really know what I want to research. I'm not really sure. They can find the bigger topic. So we'll look at sports, and then they can dig down from there. Let's look at water sports. And now I have 15 different items as opposed to when I started with that really broad, I don't really know what I want to read about. You can also do an advanced search, of course, throughout the database by lexile level or a Boolean search. And we have more information. You should always check here for any videos, maps, or multimedia. If you know exactly what you're looking for, you can search for it here. We have a great predictive search engine. So we're going to look at the Olympic Games. Now I have about 120 articles on the Olympic Games, even more pictures and videos. We'll look at that very first article. We'll open up to this beautiful splash image. Each of our articles in Kids is going to have these 5 tabs at the top. These are some really great tools with a lot of information. I'll show you those in a moment. As we scroll down, you'll see all of the multimedia on the left. Which matches the text on the right. We do have a double-click dictionary. So for example, if you're not sure what a word means, you can double-click on it, and it will be defined for you. At the bottom of the article, when you see this orange toggle, you can toggle directly to EEH, Encyclopedia Estudiantil, our primary database for Spanish speakers or English language learners, and this will give them parallel content in Spanish if we have that article available to them, and similar tools and features. And at the bottom, we will have all of our citations in MLA, APA, and Harvard format. Now I'm going to pop back up to the top to talk about these 5 tabs. The first tab to the left is obviously the article. As we move to the right, we have a compilation of all of that multimedia. Of course, you can make any of these pictures bigger, and you can save them by right-clicking or saving them right to the desktop, and they can be used in presentations. The third tab to the right has more information, so links to any other articles relating to that content search, any activities that are available in the feature section that I'm going to be showing you next, as well as any lesson plans. Many of our articles end with comprehension questions, really great for holding our young readers accountable for their learning. And of course, we're also linked to any content standards. Right now, we're geolocated to Michigan, but we also have those standards, Common Core standards, NGSS, Next Generation Science standards, and IB standards as well. The Contents tab, now I'm on the top right-hand corner, will have the lexile level of the article as well as a linkable table of contents, great for teaching skimming and scanning. And our tools drop down. Anytime we see this gear, all of these tools are available. Our articles can be saved directly to our desktop or via Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive. They can be shared via Google Classroom or email. All of our content can be translated in over 100 different languages, And all of our content can also be read aloud in English. Really great to differentiate for our different types of learners. Don't forget, drop questions for me in that questions bank. All right, I'm just going to show you a few of my favorite features on this features bar. A perennial World Book favorite is certainly World of Animals. Students and young kids at this age love learning about animals. It's really a great way to engage them and teach them about research as well as the compare and contrast skill. So for example, let's look at prehistoric animals, and we will look at the Allosaurus. So here I can go directly to my article on the Allosaurus, or I can go to my Allosaurus exhibit, which will take me to some quick facts as well as any related video and images. But for today's purpose, I want to compare and contrast. So I'm going to compare the Brachiosaurus to the Allosaurus. And if I press compare now, it will pull up a modified Venn diagram of those two prehistoric dinosaurs. So you can see visually with this red line that the Brachiosaurus weighed a lot more than the Allosaurus. And you can bring in some math here. You can bring in some science and talk about the difference between an herbivore and a carnivore, even some language arts when you're talking about really those prefixes, or the roots of those words, herbivore and carnivore. You can even talk about the different historical periods. My favorite thing to note is that the Brachiosaurus was the herbivore but weighed so much more. So it kind of makes me want to stop eating salads and eat a little bit more hamburger. Similar to World of Animals, we have compare places, which will compare geographic locations. So if you have a child who is looking for information about different states, countries, or continents, provinces, for example, they can come right here and get all of that information for them in one spot. And they can also compare and contrast with that similar modification of a Venn diagram. We have a ton of really fun activities in our database that can be done at home, in the library, or at school. Many of them just require a paper and a pencil. And of course, they all come with these tools for collaboration and translation. I'm in the craft room now. You can see we have a lot here. We'll look at the balloon rocket launch. Many of these are really made with that makerspace idea in mind. Really can be done inexpensively with things that can be easily found around the house. On that same vein, we have some great science projects. We'll look at matter and energy. What I really love about these science projects is that they link to more information. So for example, not only are you doing a science project on magnets, but you can learn about magnets and poles as well. And our science experiments come with discussion questions and lesson plans. My parents really would have liked this. Science you can use. These are great science fair projects. And how to do a science project, step-by-step information. The Biography Center is called Important People. This allows your child to look for someone specifically here, or we can really narrow that down. For example, you might know that your child wants to read about females, and they might be really interested in civil rights leaders, for example. Now that's narrowed this down to 29 different civil rights leaders, and we're going to narrow that down even further and say African American civil rights leaders. And now I have 17 different options for which to write about, whereas I might have really only known about Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman. Now I can learn about some other African American civil rights leaders who helped change the world. We have tens of thousands of biographies here that students can pick from. Okay, I'm going to wrap up today in World Book Kids down by the For Educators tab, again on the footer of the screen. We're going to go to Educator Tools. You'll have another link to your curriculum correlations, lesson plans for any of those activities, games, or science projects that I showed you. We also have these great web quests. Web quests are expeditions throughout World Book Kids. So, for example, if you want to take this web quest on Abraham Lincoln, it really walks the kids through the database and has them answer different types of questions. And each of the web quests are very different. Here they have to read different articles, watch different videos, and they'll end with a fun word activity. If I scrolled all the way down, you would get your answer key. These are really great print and do activities to do as a family or extensions on homework, or if your child is interested in a specific topic, we have a ton of different web quests available for them here. Kind of like an online scavenger hunt through World Book Kids. Okay, drop any questions for me about World Book Kids in that database, and I'm going to quickly jump to Encyclopedia Estudiantil Hallazgos. Students have different, and children have different ways that they can search for information. They can search by theme. They can search for a specific article here, of course. We have access to newspapers around the Spanish-speaking world. Also, we have access to World of Animals in Spanish. The big differentiator here is going to be this fun visual dictionary, really great for teaching vocabulary. So let's look at the human body, for example. We'll look at anatomy, and we'll look at the circulatory system. And here's the heart. Really great vocabulary, academic vocabulary, and you can easily toggle from here from English to Spanish. If you do search for an article, I'm going to look one up really quickly for you. Let's look up China. You'll have the same tools available at the top. It will be a parallel article to what I searched. If I searched for China and World Book Kids, same multimedia. It will look a little bit different, but you'll have the same tools to save it in the Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive and print it. And many of these articles do have the ability to be read aloud in Spanish. All right. Don't forget to check out our training guide. I went down to the footer. You can find it at the bottom of any of our databases. Here you can learn about any of our other resources that we have available at WorldBook. You can check out some quick video tutorials. We have some great bookmarks that you can download and print, as well as posters and some fun flyers. And I also do webinars throughout the week. You are more than welcome to join me at any of these, and certainly if you're unable to attend during the day, I know we are all busy, you are welcome to sign up for them, and I will send you a recording even if you are unable to join. Okay, I am going to pull up my contact information for you. You can certainly email me for a certificate for attending today at training@worldbook.com, or if you have any other questions on the databases. And I would love for you to check us out and give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll stick around for a few minutes if anybody has any questions, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.